progression, albeit later in the game. I think the real strength to it is that it allows you to do quite a bit of farming early on. And Uncle tells us, you're going to have a very bad time. I do not like, prescient Uncle.
I don't either. Nothing really in that first chest that looked like, and we've only got a little bit of info there with it being not a sword to start with.
Absolutely. I always say I like to see bomb starts just because the difference between people who have practiced bomb starts and people who haven't is quite a bit different, a much bigger gap than any of the other two. But we'll see what we end up getting here.
It's hammer time.
Do, 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 do.
It's rando. Do, 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 do. But yeah, they're gonna start off with the hammer here, and okay, we're 2/3 of the way to Dark World access already. No, that's a pretty good start.
Yeah, that's an amazing start. If we find an early Moon Pearl, it'll be interesting to see what kind of early route divergence. Do they continue on checking those early Sphere 1 locations, or do they move on and go on into the Dark World, try to read the seed?
Well, that would certainly throw a whole lot of chaos into the seed early on with the early Moon Pearl. But we've also got, potentially, if we could find a sword or something else that will help our runners get through dark rooms, possible early Death Mountain access as well, which is one of the things I was looking forward to.
Absolutely, and both AA and fylion end up finding a single bomb, so they are likely going to be done farming right now. They're going to be able to get, then that happened, so thanks.
It happens. Random makes fools of us all in the commentary booth.
It's kind of true. So, okay, bombs from that treasure chest in addition to the drop, so they are set for bombs. They'll even be able to get all the way through Kakariko Village with what they have right now. May not have to purchase bombs depending on what else they get. They've just opened their options up quite a bit right now.
Yes, indeed. One thing they may have to purchase bombs on if they don't find any more will be for getting into Mini Moldorm Cave. I'm not sure they'll have enough. They might just have enough, depending on where they go.
Well, they would absolutely have to purchase bombs, because if you think there is Wine's Hut, well, Chicken House, and then the fourth in the back of the well. But we do have a lot more opportunity to pick up bombs between now and then without farming.
Absolutely. Certainly could be something even as simple as a bomb drop, or maybe hiding out one of these chests. They like to do that, as the logic likes to put tons of bombs early on in chests when you don't need them, or bomb upgrades. That's not the kind of bomb you'd want to see, but sure, I guess I'll take it. Don't really have a choice.
Nice. Thanks.
So we're going to see both our runners make their way up here. I would assume take the upper route and then work their way through the sewers. They have enough to get the 3 chests in the back there. Still haven't seen the map, so that will be one of those 4 chests. Will be the map that they're going to have to grab. Actually, there's 5 chests because Sanctuary counts as well. So if they don't find the map in the next 4 chests, they won't open the Sank chest because they'll know it's the map.
Absolutely, and both runners are making really great time right now. You want to aim to be back on the top floor of the escape portion, right where they're at about 4 minutes, and then complete the escape sequence at about 6 minutes. Both runners on pace to pass that. Part of that coming from that increased damage of the hammer, so they can kind of blow through things a little bit faster. So both making really good time right now and should be feeling pretty good about themselves.
Absolutely, my friend. That's one of the things is you can get anywhere from about a 5-minute run through here to 6.5, 7 minutes. It's all dependent upon what you get from Uncle and what you have in these early chests. If you don't have any bombs, you're going to save a little bit of time by, at least on your Sanctuary run, by not getting the 3 chests there. But those are 3 chests that are going to be sitting there kind of teasing you for quite a while if you don't grab them now. So it's usually a better option if you can do it now. Get them out of the way. Don't have to come back here.
Absolutely. Logically, you will always have the light cone in the sewers even after you go through this first run. So you should be able to go through and get the back of escape kind of whenever. Just sometimes you would much rather be able to logically get it your first time here rather than having to either drop down or, worst case scenario, even have to come back through the back of escape and do that routing. But that has happened logically.
Yes, it sure has. That's pretty funny. AA kills the key rat, but didn't see the key drop, so thought it was a different rat, and then walked back and saw the key. Starting with the hearts, capacity upgrade, and the big 20, the big 5 actually. So not a whole lot of value in there, but those chests are clear. And our
they didn't pick up that map, so I do believe you're right. That final chest in Sanctuary is a part of the entire escape sequence. So the map can be there, has been there, and is there right now.
Will be interesting to see if our runners remember that and skip this chest, or if we see somebody forget and go ahead and almost a sync there between AA and fylion, and AA is going to quit. Save and quit.
Yeah,
he must be going to his house. Yeah. So big route divergence here. AA is going to go down, checks out the high roll. fylin's going to take the quote-unquote meta route, which is going up to Lost Woods, one way or the other. It looks like we're going to get a skip of the Lumberjack Ledge for now, and just get the usual trip up to Lost Woods.
Yeah, the current meta has a lot of runners skipping checking Lumberjack Ledge until you have some idea that it could be in that direction. There's what? AA? My God!
He he is reading the seed like it's I think it's a sheet of paper with only a couple of words on the front at this point. Wow.
Earn the Witch. My God. So AA immediately has Dark World access. fylion, in his own right, does pull a bottle, so he'll be able to route Sick Kid in with his Kakariko check. It'll be really interesting to see if AA opts to go ahead and go into Dark World and Hype Cave now.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's going.
We're going to have a sub 10-minute Hype Cave, guys.
What is this wizardry? Oh my goodness. It's super unorthodox to see this, but like what you're watching with AA doing right now, this routing, this is the first time I've ever seen somebody do this. Like all the parts I've seen before, obviously, in early Hype Cave, going early access, but at 7 minutes 45 seconds.
Yeah, let's get hyped. I mean, what are you guys hoping to see here? Okay, probably not that, but we're going to have a lot of chests open right now. Another bottle, 300 rupees, and it's, we had a Jerry Maguire cave. Show me the money!
Yes, indeed. So that's going to be more than enough money for AA to take care of all of the early game money needs, and we're actually getting a really early check there. All the pendants are in the dark world. So green pendant is at Misery Mire, Thieves Town has blue pendant, and Turtle Rock is the red pendant. And I believe I saw one of the red crystals is at Ice Palace.
That'll be interesting here. fylion with the more traditional routing right now. Picking up plenty of rupees in his own right. We'll see if AA picks up anything else. Can see him saving and quitting relatively quickly, though. fylion not really finding anything other than bottles and bug net. I mean,
and AA not finding much on Snumpy, just a little bit of love. And Light, you're pointing out in the chat that that indeed Ice Palace did have one of the red crystals. The other is at Palace of Darkness. So that will mean that the overworld, when fylion checks it, will be 3 regular crystals.
Which is a little bit crazy to think about. Another thing to note, green pendant and blue pendant, Misery Mire and Turtle Rock, this might be a caneless seed. Now, it's possible that you also need the cane in order to get into the right side of Ganon's Tower, but right now, with the pendants lying where they're at, it's caneless right now.
Boy, that would be brutal, wouldn't it? you could have a situation where the cane could be somewhere in the overworld that's not pendant locked, and it may be somewhere you don't really check, and then all of a sudden you need it to go into GT, and you don't realize it till you've got all the crystals, and you're just like, oh no.
AA continuing with his unorthodox routing, not going to Kakariko quite yet, doing some of these other checks, which is really kind of amazing that he's able to do it. But hey, if you can, why not? Because Kakariko is pretty quick if you can do everything right. And he gets a double bomb for one.
Well, to be fair, Vitasia, it's in his name.
That's true.
Hey, there's a cane. Just not the one we're looking for. Oh my goodness.
Fire rod. Quick! What the Okay, I gotta remember this is a family-friendly stream. I about said
think of the children. The children. The Can of Burn, 2 medallions, Bombos and Quake, and a fire rod showing up inside a mini Moldorm cave. What are you, Seed?
Yeah, I mean, after that, you don't want to check Kakariko. It can't possibly be as hype as that mini Moldorm cave. What?
Hey, look, there's 2 bottles in Kakariko. That's super, super important.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I'm picking up the Moon Pearl now. Oh my goodness, what is this?
I can't even right now. This is truly a case of me being a 14-year-old girl, and I can't even at the moment.
I can't even either. Oh my goodness. Oh my. And indeed, there we go. 3 crystals in the overworld there. So AA is setting up a fake flipper. Got it. So we'll get to check all the wonderful things. He's actually a little short on money right now. Only at 469 because went and did the digging game down in Dark World there.
One thing to note, and this is one of the nice things about these super open starts, it creates immediate route divergence, which is nothing but entertaining for all of us. Nothing but work for our wonderful tracker, Oddballs.
Oh my! Why are we just opening? Why are we just opening chests and not finding 20s? Why can't I have? Why did I never get this seed while I was in the tournament? This is unfair.
This is a seed that should not happen, and AA is dashing up to Hobo.
Oh, by the way, Desert Palace is now open.
Open, and I mean, I guess we can actually clear it between Hammer, Bombs, and King of Burna, and Fire Rod. I mean, if you want to do it the easy way.
But yeah, AA is not going to go there. AA is going to go and make the play into probably into Kakariko now, in Lost Woods.
Well, and it would be a pretty. I mean, he's going to be able to do his Kakariko check so much faster than fylion did because of those boots.
Also going to be able to check Bonk Rocks here.
Mad genius that AA is, my goodness, and Blue Mail.
Like, Ritasia, you know exactly what's going to happen in this seed at some point. They're going to be one item away. It's going to be like 35 minutes in. They're going to have everything but one item, and all of a sudden the seed's just going to clamp down and be like, no. You're grinding everything for this last thing.
Yeah, there's going to be something here. I mean, keep in mind, Thieves Town, Misery Mire, and Turtle Rock blocks a lot of stuff out of the pendant, or out of the pedestal, but things like the hook shot, absolutely in play. Things like the bow, absolutely in play. Flippers, yup. So we're finding a lot of stuff right now, but I think the last thing they want to see right now is Kane, because that would start pointing them into the direction of some of these pendant dungeons.
Indeed, this can is like a wrestling match. It lulls you into this sense of false security and then cracks you over the back with a steel chair. And indeed, I should mention too that couldn't really tell from the original sprite because it was a little bit dark, but that is I believe a green potion actually in Lost Woods, not just an empty bottle.
Yep, it is a bottle of green goo.
Already getting a South of Grove check here, and it's just 20 rupees. Well, AA is going to be working on. Don't normally get to see that.
No, this is kind of unusual, and blue goo.
And the bug net.
You remind me of the witch. What witch? The witch with the bottle. What bottle? The bottle with the blue goo. Who goo? You goo. Blue what? Buy it from the witch. That was a Labyrinth reference, if you didn't catch that.
Oh yeah, I caught it now. I had to think about it. I'm like, yeah.
I can't sing like Bowie, so there's that.
No, just as long as you can dance the magic dance, that's all right. All right, so getting settled back in here. Hey, opening up all these chests, not finding a whole lot. Getting an extra heart there from the pieces of heart.
And fylion is going to give us our first look over here at Eastern Palace. It's kind of a dense location that we have not checked yet. So we might find something here, although we're missing a couple things in order to be able to clear it out in logic. Missing the lamp and, of course, the bow to be able to finish the dungeon.
Well, we got a shield and a couple of big 20s. And AA is going to be going to the Dark World, Village Outcast, perhaps. Maybe even Skull Woods here, because he's got the... No, he doesn't. He can't go into... He can go into Skull Woods, but he can't complete it because no sword.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those unusual periods of time where, hey, I can go ahead and complete and open the back end, but I can't do anything with it because no sword to cut the curtain open.
Absolutely. Gotta be able to get rid of those vines. And just finding a bomb and a big 20 in the whale game here. Next stop, C-shaped house. Yes, 5-bomb upgrade. So the one thing we haven't seen is the Zora area. We haven't seen what Zora has, and we haven't seen what's on the ledge. Could be something of importance, because AA didn't have enough money to go check it at that time, so skipped out on it. And finally, I'm going into Palace of Darkness. Oh, there's the hook shot. Hello.
That's nice. In fact, that's kind of awesome. Hook shot. I mean, we now have logical access to go ahead and do Swamp Palace. We would have to menu boss it, but we can do Swamp Palace if we want to.
We still need the flippers to be able to get across there.
Flippers.
Yep.
Details. I forgot he fake flippered.
Indeed. It's alright. This is like... Oh, and finally I'm doing a really quick Death Warp there. Since he doesn't have the mirror. It does have the mirror. Must be Death Warp in... somewhere. Probably just because he had low health, I guess. There's
And
there's
that's
yeah.
what you don't want to see. Oh my goodness.
Well. Oh, there's the
Our first
sword.
sword. What? Now, it is worth noting that this is sequence breaking because the boots were past the fake flippers. We're not logically supposed to be able to have access to that sword yet.
Actually, yeah, we can. Oh, wait, no, we can't because you have to flip her to get in there. That's right.
Yep.
I was thinking like, wait a minute, we have power gloves. We can lift the rock, and then I just had to think again and be like, oh yeah, that's right.
And fylion is showing off the wonderful bottle glitch. If if you use a potion in that room below, it will kind of break the centering of that particular screen, and then you just move those mimics off to where they're all off the screen. And of course, this game is coded beautifully. If all the enemies are off the screen, it thinks you killed them all, so you can move on.
Meanwhile, we have I had to laugh there because we're finding all kinds of items all over the place right now. We had a lamp in Thieves Town and the mushroom showing up now in Palace of Darkness.
So we get to do our first fetch quest? What?
Perhaps. But indeed, I think it actually breaks with the potion glitch. I think for somehow with the programming, as you mentioned, it breaks the camera, and as long as the game senses that there are no gorillas on the screen there, even if they're all still alive, it just looks for a number that apparently looks for a number that are still alive and on the screen. And as soon as it hits 0, it's like, okay, you can go through, even if they're all still alive and just pixels away.
Yeah, it's kind of broken logic because early 90s Super Nintendo game coding is among the best ever, right?
Right. And this can't be AGA required for 2 reasons. One being that we have access to get over to Palace of Darkness now, and also the Lumberjack Lodge does not have an item of value on it. So for both of those reasons, there's no reason to go do AGA at this point.
There is one other obscure method. I mean, it's not relevant necessarily in this seed, but it did happen earlier today, actually, where if the Pyramid Fairy has the hammer, and there's Harpo.
Oh,
What's
my
this
goodness.
seed?
I don't know. Boy. Things just showing up left and right. Oh my goodness, 23 minutes in.
We are officially a flute, or not a flute, a lift upgrade and flippers away from go mode at 23 minutes.
My question is,
what is this even?
You would have to think the flippers show up some point early here. Simply because of the fact that so much stuff is locked behind the flippers. You would think that it would be fairly early in the progression chain, but gosh, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't know either. This is just crazy. And AA, with a slight mistake, getting grabbed by that Trump hand there.
Yeah, AA having a little bit of trouble with the Wallmaster. fylion backing out of the Palace of Darkness, having some trouble with the dark room there. You don't normally go get your first crystal with so much stuff.
No, not usually. And go get your first crystal with A, so much stuff, and B, still using nothing but fighter sword strats lately. He's going to use hammer. Okay.
Yeah, if you want to spend that green potion, he'll have fire rod available too. Just kind of watching.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Yeah.
doing everything you need to do for Mothula. With Mothula, you know, especially with Hammer, patience is the key. You don't want to get overly aggressive, but he downs it and is rewarded with the map. But more importantly, our first crystal, even though we're 3 items away from go mode, because we do need another sword at least.
Yep. Still need that second sword to be able to do Ganon, and boy, that would be the slowest of the possible Ganon fights there. Master Sword Silverless. That's a slog no matter what happens. And we're getting a mushroom turn in over here on Fylion's side.
Oh, this will be fun. I'm looking forward to this mushroom. I might be singing. We'll see.
Or we'll see a hard reset from... No, we're not going to see a hard reset. Okay, so just not going to bother with the fake powder setup there.
I think that's risky, especially when you have the ability to go ahead and do everything already. Like I think that's a little bit of a risk by Philly, and I can see why he doesn't want it, why he makes it like that. I just am a little nervous for that for him.
Yes, indeed. So it will be very interesting to see here where we go after this. We're getting the catfish check.
Catfish, another one of those.
Yeah, he's trying to save up money here to try and get a Zoro check in with all this. Hey, there's Master Sword.
Hey, there's our second sword. My goodness. And Catfish is giving us a heart. I mean, nice. It's not thrilling, but nice.
He's trying to get those last 5 rupees. He's gonna warp and try and kill the crabs, I think, to try and see if they get a drop out of that.
I think that's kind of a smart move at this point, because you're here, you want to be able to do it. Just don't die.
Oh, you got a 1.
Come on, Fylion, you can do this.
He's farming. He's trying his best.
He's trying, and he's like, no,
no.
I'm done. And AA with that bow is going to be dipping into pod here directly. He'll be able to go ahead and full clear it without sequence breaking anything. Bow, hammer, lamp, he's good to go.
Might actually try and do Palace of Darkness here first, and then mirror and go into Eastern Palace. So and get both of them killed at the same time.
Yep, that would make sense. Fylion looks like he's going to be sequence breaking up to Death Mountain, which is, I mean, I wish he wouldn't, because it's very limited in terms of what he can do up there right now. He's sequence breaking the Old Man. He's sequence breaking Spectacle Rock. He'll be able to get up to Tower of Hera and eventually do the east side. Yes. AA is going to have a much easier time getting over there, though, and I got to imagine AA is going to be heading there before too long, too.
I would imagine so. We've got Tower of Hera as one of the crystals as well, so good question will be, will he save that for the end? Will he save that as the final crystal and try and do a mirror from Ganon's tower to Tower of Hera, and then just step back right into that mirror and be right there at the foot of GT ready to go? We're getting to see what's in Spectacle Rock. Just the bomb upgrade on the inside.
That is, I mean, it's nice to know that you won't have to go out of your way to get that. But he will be doing the mirror right up here. And on our way to Tower of Hera.
Very interesting to see just the routing choices here. And AA making some very interesting choices early on, and they paid off handsomely. I mean, they getting the book, getting boots, and all of this stuff, but just with that one fake flipper, opening up so much of the map.
Absolutely, and we have to really keep track of what those boots and what that book opens up for us. Fylion has to take a trip down to the basement, unfortunately. So everyone get your coffee, your tea, your adult beverage together. We're getting ready for a little bit of a break.
We'll kind of get to see what is hiding out here in the dark maze as well, because AA, having the lamp, will be able to navigate it where Fylion had some problems and had to back out. Yeah, book and boots were both in the waterfall cave chest, so absolutely needed a fake flipper or a flipper to be able to get over there and get those.
Oh, there's gloves. So that's not the go mode item you necessarily want to see, because we're still logically required to get the flippers, but that does unlock at least Dark Death Mountain, so we will have access to Turtle Rock likely at this point in time. Still don't have access to Misery Mire, which is nice. Still don't logically have access to Ice Palace, so that further kind of narrows down where everything is. But so we're close.
The painful thing for fylion is he was right there. He was right there in the dark maze. That's where he saved and quit out of, because he couldn't see where he was going with just the hammer. And yeah, that first chest being Titansmiths. Oh boy, that's a brutal thing to see.
Yeah, the only thing we really need to close this logical gap is flippers. And imagine the flippers required for boots in order to kind of get us to where we're at. This is going to be, I mean, extremely fast for AA. I'm a little bit blown away by how fast this is going by.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't pick those out of the dark maze. I saw some discussion in chat. Maybe he's got them already. He was trying to lift up some of the darker rocks in the dark world there while he was farming for money, and he couldn't. He either couldn't do it or didn't do it. He might have been trying to do it. So I don't think fylion has the Titansmiths.
AA doing great going through that turtle room. fylion going to be the first over here to East Death Mountain. We'll see what goodies we end up finding. I get the feeling, based on what AA already has, we're likely to find the flippers over here, but that's just a hunch.
It's a good hunch. Fairly good hunch as far as where they could be. Logically, that would make sense given everything that our players have at the moment. Otherwise, there's somewhere really weird that's going to be a pain in the butt to get to.
All right, so there goes another crystal, and it is one of the 5-6 crystals on top of that. So AA has both the 5/6 crystals now. I think. No, Ice Palace is the
No,
other one.
it doesn't have Ice Palace yet.
The abdomen of Mothula looked like a star. My fault, guys.
So now we're going to see a mirror here from AA, and then an immediate dip into Eastern Palace. Flippers absolutely could be in Eastern Palace.
Oh, absolutely. Did we see fylion dip in here earlier? I thought we had, but I could be mixing up my races.
It could be. I don't know if we saw him dip in there. I think he just backed out of Palace of Darkness and saved and quit.
fylion using safety strats there at the end. He was worried about taking a death, and you don't want to have to die when you're this far in. And East Death Mountain had nothing for fylion. He did that entire sequence break for nothing.
That is definitely always a disappointment to find as a runner. You do all that hard work, and boy, you just don't have what you're looking for at this point. So you're kind of hoping that your opponent is not having a good time of it either, which unfortunately at this point AA is having a
He's having the best time, yeah.
He is a Tiny Tim song at this point. Just need a ukulele at this and be all set.
fylion looks to be entering the world here directly.
Mm-hmm.
Rating Panda 24 asks, why isn't the chest in Sanctuary open? That is because our wonderful runners counted their treasure chests. They knew that particular chest contains the map because it's the last one in the escape sequence. So if you don't find the map, save the frames.
Indeed. It's not a whole lot of time to go open that chest, but you know, it's a couple seconds. You don't want to have to open up any chests in Randomizer that you don't need to.
fylion finds the bow, probably a little bit later than he would like, but that's okay.
It is unfortunately worth noting that I don't believe we found a sword in here, so he's not going to be able to go ahead and... Oh wait, we did find a sword. It's in the room that you need to get to the... You have the statue to get to, yeah.
The room with the thing, yeah. I read what you're putting down.
I always forget what the... I know that room has a specific name, and I always forget what it is. I just refer to it as a room with a stupid statue.
Stupid statue Gibdo room?
Yeah, this one. Which, by the way, neither of our runners, since they have Canis Mario, will be using that. Oh, I have to make sure to do that in reverse. There we go. So, fylion to have a sword here pretty quickly. Once you
There's the flippers.
Stuff. Oh, Armos Knights. Yeah.
Armos Knights has the flippers. The logic gap closes. AmazingAmpharos is in go mode sub 40 minutes.
39 minutes, 20-second go mode. I have never seen such a ridiculously early go mode. This is unbelievable. This seed.
Yeah, this is nuts. I mean, you have Desert Palace, you have Tower of Hera, Swamp Palace, and Ice Palace. Now, with Desert Palace and Tower of Hera, you're probably going to be picking up a couple treasure chests. Swamp Palace and Ice Palace, you're just going as fast as you can.
somewhere out there, a man is sitting in front of a fireplace in his study, drinking a fine Chardonnay, and suddenly his rando senses tingling, and Jet stands up and is like, "Something terrible is happening."
Jet's senses are tingling. Did he race today?
I don't know.
No, Jet raced yesterday.
Yes, but boy, this seed, it just, it's one of those things where you take some gambles and they pay off incredibly well, and that's really what AA did here. Just getting that fake flipper and that opening up the boots and the book so early, and then leading to flippers, and everything was just falling right in order here.
Yeah, it was just beautiful. I mean, there's no other way to do it. To get a seed this fast, you not only have to be good, you have to be a little bit lucky, and it was the perfect combination for AA. I mean, right now, it's just, if he finds a sword, it'll be amazing, but even if he doesn't, it'll be all right.
Yeah, he's got to find this. At this point, he's probably looking just for a sword, or for silver arrows would be really helpful as well at this point. Just getting these little safeties here and there, and just to make it that much easier. Yeah, a lot of people wondering, what's the world record for a rando? Randos don't usually have world records because the seeds are always so different. So any individual seed can have a possible best time based on execution and routing, but because of the nature of it being randomized, you don't really know, okay, what's the best way to go about and do everything until you've actually completed it.
Looks like he's still looking for a couple items, though. He is probably hoping for a sword, checking some kind of low-hanging fruit on the chest. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to, but at this point, I think he's trying to make it as easy on himself as possible. He's not going for a rando record or anything like that.
No, I think he just wants to win. I think that's more important than any time. Just as long as you get that dot done in first, that's all that really matters here.
In chat for us to kind of explain what back-end logic means. So keep in mind when AmazingAmpharos did the sequence break, he did the fake flippers, the game logic does not actually require you to do any minor sequence breaks like fake flippers, bottle glitch, anything that we've seen in this particular race. If you find anything past that, and you continue to use it to progress through the game, you are out of logic, because the game wants you to have, in AA's case, the flippers before you end up getting the boots of the book in this particular case. So once AA found those flippers, he kind of closed the logic gap so that he got the flippers, which means everything that he would have been able to get, the boots, the book, and everything else kind of in that progression chain was back in logic. He didn't do any more sequence breaks above and beyond that. So he is considered, he's closed that logic loop and back in logic based on what the seed is wanting him to do. Now, he's done it a whole lot more efficiently than probably the seed intended.
Basically, the way to think of it in even simpler terms is like if you're doing a scavenger hunt and you find clue number 3 before you find clue number 2, and then that clue number 3 takes you to 4, and then you go to 5, and in your mucking about, you happen to find clue number 2 again. When you find 4 and 5, that would be considered to be out of logic, and when you get 2, you're now back in logic because you have all of the things that you're supposed to have at that point. And yes, we are already in go mode. AA has been in go mode for about 5 minutes now.
Yeah, he's got Swamp and Ice and Hera. Swamp and Ice are going to be relatively quick, I suspect. I mean, we may have AA checking a few treasure chests along the way, particularly in Swamp, hoping for a tempered sword or silvers. Probably, if he had to choose one, he'd prefer tempered. But, you know.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of discussion in chat about what's the fastest time we've seen. Um, there's been some very, very fast times depending upon the seed and the mode. So Christos had a 105, but that was an open mode. That's slightly different here. You don't have to do the escape. You can just kind of go. You can kind of start exploring the world from the get-go here. So standard mode, obviously, we have to do the original escape from the vanilla Link to the Past game. And then once we get out of Sanctuary, it basically becomes open mode after that.
If I am recalling correctly, I believe, and we also have to take in mind version logic, because the versions each change the logic and the setup and how things work. So in this standard mode tournament, which has been all in this under the same logic, I believe the best time in this is like a 1 hour 12 minutes, right
So-
around there.
I think it was a 107. It was said earlier today, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's
super
what
fast.
that's what chat is telling me at this point. But yeah, there was in the Swiss rounds, I think Jet had the fastest time. I think he had a 114.
Okay, 107 set earlier today by Gloin. What? My goodness.
My goodness. So I think just based on based on what we're seeing here, I don't think AA is probably going to beat the. It could be close, but I don't think we're going to see a 106 here. Even with skipping all of this stuff, I think there's probably still about 20 to 25 minutes of content still left to go through here. Plus, if you're going to be doing this with Master Sword Silverless, it's going to take a little bit more time on the fight.
Yeah, I mean, if he ends up getting lucky and getting Tempered Sword kind of on his way up Ganon's Tower, I think that's what I would be banking on right now if I was AA. Certainly, he has the skill level to go ahead and do Master Sword Silverless. It's just not pleasant to do.
Yeah, he'll be able to do it. It's certainly not a problem of execution and knowledge. It's just a matter of, it's not pleasant to do. And I think we're staying on check for the that third sword, make it a little bit easier. Maybe find silvers. And for got the cape, that'll help out a little bit. But for those wondering about, after the game, do the runners know where the missing items are as fylion picks up the flippers? We'll be going to get those boots and whatnot pretty soon. Runners don't know, and we don't know as commentators where any of the things are after the game unless they show up in the credits. So if we don't find it, we might not be able to tell you where it is. So very nice fight here from AA using the he's gonna use the fire rod here. Make this nice and quick. Getting two
It's a
shots
nice
off there.
double, yeah.
Oh, only gets a single there. This is a shot, but he'll get it this time.
And just bombs, and we have our 6th crystal at 49 minutes. On our way to Ice Palace, and Go Mode Ice Palace is quite nice.
Indeed. So we are going to see AA save that Tower of Hera fight for number 7. So that's going to be. I was kind of thinking once you got in the Go Mode there, that would be the play. That's by far the quickest way to get into GT is to just pop right out from Tower of Hera.
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of people who really look forward to the Big Key guessing game. We might, just as a forewarning, might start that a little sooner just to allow everyone to get their guesses in. I wouldn't want us to stop it, 10 seconds in because of the quick turnaround time there.
fylion hasn't gone back from mids yet.
He hasn't gone back from layup, which was that was just in Thieves Town, wasn't it?
Yep, first chest and thief stand. So, if you guys want to see AA kind of challenge the tourney record here, you probably want to guess an early number and be right. So
Yeah,
a
that's
1 or a 2 or a 3 or something like that would probably be best.
something really quick like that would be the best if you're hoping for that good record seed. But he's at 50 minutes right now. I mean, let's not blush. This is an insane time, no matter what. But requiring a world record or a tournament record even is going to be just nuts.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough because you never know what you're going to get. You might get a faster seed later in the tournament too. So even if he sets a tournament record, there's a good chance that record could fall at a later point here, just based on our runners, based on the seeds and the randomization. We've already seen 107 today, so there are fast seeds that are still out there. Millions of probably fast seeds that are still out there.
And fylion with the fighter sword spins. He still doesn't have the boot, so he still wasn't able to get his second sword on that library ledge. So yeah. Meanwhile, fylion gets his crystal. AA setting up this bomb jump. I think he's a little too close there.
Yeah, he's a little too close to the bomb. A little too far away now. Yeah, I missed it again. Gotta be careful at this point. He's got a blue potion. We'll use that. We see chat already taking bets on what they think AA's final time is going to be. He's a little bit off on the bomb jump, actually. He's there for oh nope.
This practice makes perfect. Now. I mean, my goodness, there he's got.
Yeah, there we go. I could tell he was just a little. I think the problem with the first couple was he was a little too far forward from the edge.
Yeah, I was like, that bomb jump is probably one of the first ones that people learn, and some people can do it super fast. Some people, you have to just line it up a little bit differently.
Yeah, people in chat being like, "That looks like me when I was trying to do it." I was about to make the same comment because that does look like me when I try and do it.
I get the sense that this might be a little bit of nerves from AA. It's been a while. This is AA's first tournament race for Randomizer for quite a while. He didn't have to participate in the Swiss. And when you're, at go mode as early as he has been, you might get a little bit tilted. I mean, tilted in the good way because you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be doing a PB. But tilted nonetheless.
Zonas is also correctly pointing out AA is the lead dev for the OOT rando, so he's been working a lot on that. Very likely has had OOT on the brain for a while. Doesn't mean that it's like riding a bike. You never forget how to do it. Just sometimes when you get back on that bike, it's a little bit touch and go here and there, but he's certainly showing that he's no slouch or hasn't forgotten anything. Nicely done.
That was a nice cotton candy fight, and he is rewarded with, hey, magic powder. That's a nice survivability item.
Yes, indeed. That will be very helpful for going up through GT. And what do you know? We're on the march up to that's one of the interesting things. He's gonna have to A is gonna have to go through Death Mountain escape entrance here because he doesn't have a way to get up there otherwise. Doesn't have the flute.
This is going to be kind of interesting, and he's going to enter Dark World from the Turtle Rock entrance, so that he can immediately mirror back over. So it's going to take him a little bit longer than the standard routing getting up to Tower of Hera.
Correct. Yeah, this is AA's first time going to Death Mountain. He hasn't been up here at all. And fortunately for him, he hasn't missed anything by delaying this until now.
I mean, I can see him checking something like Super Bunny Cave on his way up, which, I mean, is a possibility at this point in time. They're two quick chests, and they're right there.
Indeed. So we're going to get to see the rare approach to GT from Tower of Hera. So we may want to start thinking about hitting that GT guessing game very soon here, actually.
Well, I mean, because we still have Tower of Hera, I was thinking
yes.
on the
Yes.
on the Moldorm fight, we'll take care of it.
Indeed. I'm just not used to it being this early.
Sub 1 hour big key guessing game.
Oh my goodness. Oh, he's checking Paradox Cave stuff. He's gonna go through Paradox Cave, I think, to get to get up to Turtle Rock here. He's gonna bomb jump across, maybe. But I think he's definitely looking for silvers or a third sword upgrade at this point.
Yeah, he might be a little bit nervous about it. And unfortunate thing is he's not going to find anything here.
Yep. Hey, he's just gonna get a bunch of garbage, unfortunately. Maybe gonna bomb jump across the gap here. Successfully. And head on up to Turtle Rock.
Well, at this point, when you're, when you have go mode as early as AA did, you're probably feeling pretty confident. You know that the gambles you made were good gambles. Knowing everything that you probably know your head and can afford to spend a little bit of time.
I would say so, in part because they're big risks to make. So you're sitting there thinking, okay, either I'm ahead at this point with the gambles I made, or I'm very close to the other runner and they made some insane logic gambles as well.
So Chad is pointing out and having the discussion right now, they believe that fylion doesn't recognize that he has the gold gloves, the Titan's mitts, which would be really unfortunate for fylion. He sees that pause menu. I hope you saw it, fylion.
I hope so too. But yeah, AA definitely not going for the tournament PB at this point. Just kind of looking to do the best, the best and most thorough job that he can at this point. This will still be a very, very good time.
Oh, absolutely. It's still among the better times I've ever had the privilege of being a part of.
I mean, it's not often you see a runner dipping into the number 7 crystal dungeon at 59 minutes.
Oh, no, absolutely not. And the number 7 crystal dungeon, it has been in go mode for the past 20 minutes. Yeah, AA had some of the, a lot of people are looking at this saying, what was the difference here? AA is so far ahead. AA did a lot of things differently in this. He completely avoided Kakariko. He got a mitts and hammer start, immediately saved and quit, and went into the South Shore area and got his first lift upgrade. So he was doing Dark World. We had a sub 10-minute hype cave check.
Yeah, we Actually, it was Moon Pearl that we found in the
Moon Pearl, right,
South
right,
World
right.
Dam. But yeah, just some huge chances that he was taking, and they were just paying off left and right. Did a fake flipper over to get the boots and the book, which helped out.
Yeah, and that's an item that fylion still hasn't done. He's got the flippers, but he hasn't checked that Pyramid Fairy for both the book and the boots. Those boots lead to the second sword upgrade, which are on the library ledge. Yeah, AA did eventually do his Kakariko checks, but he was able to do them much more efficiently and routed them together with a lot of his Village of Outcasts check and just mirrored back and forth.
Yeah, super clean, super efficient routing there for AA, getting through the early part of the game. It's just one of those things you can definitely see the execution on AA's part being some of the best I've seen so far in this tournament, just as far as knowing where to go, where the seed wants you to go, and having a very clear path in mind.
And with that, because we are on Mini Moldorm, or on Moldorm, and he's already dead, we're going to go ahead and start the big key guessing game. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a subscriber to any of the Speed Gaming Network of channels or have donated at least 250 bits across the network, you will be eligible for a leaderboard. 22 treasure chests. Guess which treasure chest is going to have the Ganon's Tower big key in it. You'll be registered for a leaderboard if you have donated 1 through 22. Mr. Nihon Tiger, sir, what's going to be your guess?
Well, as we see AA going into GT here at 1 hour and 2 minutes, holy cow. I'm going to guess number 12. I like to guess number 12. Usually puts it in a randomizer room. How about you, Vitasia?
I've been guessing 18, and I'm going to stick with that, even though I'm secretly hoping for a very, very early big key right now.
Yeah, if it's one, that will just be great. This is a seed and a run to remember for sure in this first round of brackets. There's half magic and bombs. Okay, so we're going left side.
Yep, force left side at this point in time. fylion giving us some checks in some of these other treasure chests in Swamp Palace because he's still full clearing everything.
Oh, Silver's in GT on the torch.
Bob's torch guarding the silvers. Oh, yeah.
You know, AA's feeling a lot better right now with those silvers in his inventory.
Absolutely. Silvers, cape, so you can do some cape spin strats along with the half magic. Yeah, he's feeling a lot better about this Ganon fight than he was about 5 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. So with that, I think that's going to bring down the GT fight time considerably once you get to phase 4. If he could just find himself a sword in here, he'd really be cooking.
Yeah, here's a secret tip. There's Ice Rod. Nice. So, secret tip for all those would-be evil overlords in the world. If you have one weakness, don't hide it in your secret lair.
And don't put it in the final chest in the game either. That's a really bad spot. Unless you're playing against someone who doesn't check the final chest, in which case that's absolutely where to put it. I'll never know. Alright, there's a fairy in the bottle. Heading over to the randomizer room now. So this will, I believe, be 10 through 13.
Traditionally, this is 10 through 13. The randomizer room, so-called because if you ever play this game in vanilla, there are 4 treasure chests here. There's just never anything of value in them.
Oh, I got a red mail out of it. Nope.
And a fire shield, so, I mean, yay?
That's fine. That'll be helpful for the fight for sure. And for going up Gauntlet here, that'll be super nice. Only having 11 hearts, too, that's going to be half magic and Fire Shield are certainly welcome for our runners. I would laugh if the sword is somewhere up here, just because the fact that we found all of the super helpful things so far in GT.
No kidding. So he's going to be powdering what used to be Bob. There is no Bob because we took his item. Instead, the soul of Bob is helping us in the silver arrows. Fylion, oh no, takes death, but he does have a safety fairy here on his fight.
And good news is he should be able to get through this. Meanwhile, AA getting through Armos Knights number 2. Shovel.
15, 16, and 17. Nope. Okay, so we're in for a late one.
Yep. Thank goodness this isn't Key Sanity, and that shovel is not like, ha, you gotta go outside to get your stupid key. Alright, so 5 chests left to check down here. Tile room and the 4 on the right. And we're going to skip tile room for now.
That's fair. I think you make the high percent play if you're AA at this point.
And you know, with the way this seed has been, it would be in tile room, wouldn't it? Like, this has been like fast, 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 slow.
Yeah, that's, you know, and that might be confirmation bias on my own part, but whenever I get, like, Ganon's Tower treats me the opposite, however the rest of the seed treats me. Like, if it's a super fast seed, it slows me down at Ganon's Tower. 18, Piece of Heart. 19, Big 20.
Hey, 21.
21, okay.
There we go. Just what we were looking for.
Yep, nice. Big key 21. So AA at 107. So this isn't going to be a tournament record, but man, this is still going to be blazing fast.
Absolutely. So this is going to be, without a doubt, sub 120.
Oh, easy. And
easy.
Shout out to XCOM, who was our first winner there. GG XCOM.
Congrats, XCOM. You get your name on the leaderboard, you get the drink from the fire hose, and you have you get to have a sense of accomplishment and pride in a job well done by typing in 2 numbers in the chat.
Most importantly, typing in 2 numbers in the chat before anyone else in that massive string typed it in. So, still impressive.
Indeed.
And Fylion finding the book and the boots. And he's happy to see those.
You would, let's see here. Eric, you would indeed be correct. There was a 114 earlier, there was a 112 earlier, and we had a 107 earlier today. Just a couple hours ago. So, there have been some fast seeds today.
Yeah, Fylion should be effectively in go mode if he realizes he has the mitts. I think, as everyone pointed out, he's still searching for a lot of stuff because he doesn't think he has them. Solid 1 cycle there for AA.
Yeah, he's going to be, I think Fyllion's going to be very shocked when he sees the dot down here with the timing on this. He might be of the mind that this is a super trolly seed.
All right, so AA is making good work up here. He's at 3.5 hearts, but he does have that powder for safety once he gets up here to the top.
Just 2 more rooms to go to get to that, so looking pretty good as far as safety goes. And pick up that key and just check that chest for that 3rd sword. Why not?
Just in case.
He's got the powder out, so he's thinking the same thing we were thinking. Gonna go ahead and powder that. Get those extra refills and open that chest again. Get the map. So I would imagine we'll see the final chest open here. Just looking for the 3rd sword at this point.
Absolutely, and I don't know if we're ever going to know exactly where that 3rd sword is going to be.
Well, we might see it in somewhere in the credits, but yeah, we might never know where the other 2 sword upgrades are.
Nope.
Oh, actually, Chet pointing out that there's a sword in the an upgrade in the swamp big chest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I guess that's where fylion got his, because I don't think he's been back to the library yet.
no, it doesn't. And AA does not get any on the first one. Gets trolled a little bit, but a nice double there.
Indeed. Oh, getting a little trolled there. Just missing that shot.
It looks like he's a little bit out of sync right now.
Yep. There we go.
Nice double.
Ooh, having a little trouble here with getting these lined up, but this should be
Oh,
better.
this one's friendly.
There we go. We have a GT clear at 112.35 for AA. He's got quite the cushion at this point to be able to get this figured out.
Here he goes. Mr. Blue Bacon is going through fylion. Is still full clearing stuff. He is doing it Desert Palace right now.
I feel like we keep ending up here, don't you? It's like deja vu all over again.
Well, I mean, it's kind of true.
Yeah, that's true. So it'll be a matter of how AA executes this fight. Just be careful and get this all wrapped up.
Ganon's not being terribly friendly with his placement either. Oh, this might be a good one.
Yes, it is. It's gonna be really nice. You can use the cape there too. Still gotta be a little bit careful with that magic. Only has a green potion left to deal with.
Yeah, but luckily, I mean, you do have the green potion, and he's getting some solid spins off on him.
Indeed. Can use that green potion now. Does he go back to cape? Yes. So the worst thing right now is that he runs out of magic trying to do this. Because that means he's got to save and quit to get out of here.
Oh, I gotta be careful. 3
he's gotta be
hearts.
careful with the
Oh,
hearts,
1 heart.
too.
He does have a fairy, so that's nice. And he's
Yep,
on phase 3.
Yep. Try and set up the torch glitch. 3 swings in. This should be a pretty good time. Oh, gotta be careful now. Did you find the arrows? Yeah, we found them. Gotta watch those fire bats.
Yeah, thanks for putting him, like, right there in the first place.
There's 2. Oh no!
Oh! A fold to Ganon! Just...
Oh no!
Oh, man. AA.
Oh. And that was just a bad teleport. That's all that was. He was lined up to do the he's gonna, I think he's gonna go get some potions or something maybe real quick here. But he was lined up to go get the fire rod for the torch, and Ganon just teleports over into the top left corner and bonks him as he lights the torch.
That's too bad. But that's good news for fylion. He only needs about another 13 falls from AA to... Yeah, this...
Yeah. So he's going to pick up some more safeties, and he should be quite alright at this point. And fylyon's going to get the sword there.
You gotta know AA is definitely feeling the nerves right there. I mean,
Yeah.
he was... I mean, he's going back. He's trying to calm down. I think getting the safeties is as much about calming his nerves down as it is refilling his magic in his health and making sure he can do it.
Yeah, I think so. Just the break. I think his assumption is he's got the lead right now. You know, let's get this, you know, figured out. Let's do this one more time. We know he can do it. I know I can do it. I just need to execute at this point, and I also probably need to not stand at the edge there when Ganon's teleporting around, because that's the danger of what can happen.
Are you saying that he needs to don't stand so close to me?
Back off, buddy.
That's my favorite, honestly.
Yeah, I like that. I like that we were able to both get the reference to the song and the reference to the Ganon text in there. It's one of the many flavor texts you get for this fight. So what's interesting now is that because of the fall there and having to reset this fight, AA is going to have a different set of teleports, a different pattern here for the entire fight than he would have otherwise. So he's not going to be able to use that knowledge from the first fight to figure out, oh, again, it's just going to be here.
Pulls out the blue goo. He's not taking any risks. I mean, he's got, even after purchasing blue goo, he's still got 1,000 rupees. I think he's set.
Yeah, he should be fine. I think we're still probably, given that we're in phase 2, probably about to jump into phase 3 just a moment here. Yep. I think we're probably still looking at a sub 120 time at this point. This is still looking pretty good for AA as far as time scale. It'll still be one of the faster times in the tournament, even if it's a 118 or a 119. Did you find arrows in the tower? Sure did.
Yes, we did, because you're the worst evil overlord ever.
All right. Let's see, does he set up a single there? Probably setting up the double now. Oh, no, I got one more. And this should be a GG here. Just in a moment. Missed that sword swing. Got
Yep, looks like you poked him instead.
So this is a very, very good time from AA. Very fast seed. And AA is going to walk through that door. And we're going to see a dot done, an official SRTV time. Time for another one? Well, we have time for another one, maybe, actually. Looking at our schedule.
Yeah, maybe. But it does have an official speed racing TV time of 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 36 seconds. GG to AmazingAmpharos.
Yes, indeed. Boy, that is That is a super impressive time, and we'll get to watch the credits here and maybe see some of the items that we missed. Since we skipped about half the game, because the seed was just like, yeah, just go fast as you want.
And joining us now is our winner, AmazingAmpharos. GG, sir.
Yeah, that was one heck of a seed. I'm a little salty that my PB now has a Ganonfall in it, but otherwise, wow, that was just incredible.
So
Okay,
wait, that is your
congrats on your PB.
PB with a Ganonfall. Nice.
I mean, I could do no wrong on my route. Everywhere I went, required items just rained on top of me.
A PB with a Ganonfall, aka known as room for improvement.
You need so much luck for a run to go this way.
Well,
Oh,
everything you did just seemed to be the right play. Tell me a little bit about your decision to eschew Kakariko from the get-go. You immediately went to the South Shore.
Well, I've been a long time advocate of don't just mindlessly do the same opening route. Think about your plays based on what you have. Like, I knew there were a lot of items I could find that would make CAC more efficient. I'm always thinking about the possibility of finding flute to activate it, a bottle, cash, though I had that, a shovel, boots, so you can get the library item and bonk rocks on your way. But in this case, because we already had hammer and gloves from Escape, Moon Pearl I knew was also a really premium find because it meant I could go into the Dark World immediately after I was done with CAC. And that actually ended up being what happened there. We got the Moon Pearl, and that just turned the seed into kind of a routing playground.
Yeah, and it absolutely just was your playground. Go mode from 40 minutes in.
So I believe we have that location of that fourth sword upgrade. It looks like it's on the door. It's on the swordsmiths, the blacksmiths.
Where was the third one?
Swamp Palace, big chest.
Oh yeah, no way I was getting that.
And
it was easy to find. All you had to do was full clear Swamp Palace looking for the mitts, and you were going to find a sword in the big chest. Easy.
joining us is fylion. Fylion did unfortunately go ahead and forfeit. So fylion, let's talk about those mitts here.
I mean, I knew I found something invisible in the dark maze. I assumed kind of just that because I had so much other good stuff from Pod, it must have been an upgrade. I was just kind of clearing that space out by rote more than anything else, and so it completely slipped my mind to even check for having the mitts there. I mean, based on A's incredible time he pulled, I think he had this sewn up anyways, so I won't say that cost me the match. I think a lot of other problems cost me the match as well.
Yeah, there were definitely some very early gambles there from AA that really paid off, doing the fake flippers and getting the boots and the book that early, I think was a definite plus to AA's routing.
Yeah, there have been too many times when I've just wasted time fake flippering at the start of a race, and so I didn't today, and clearly that hurt. But the other thing that happened was I just did not want to go to Skull Woods without a sword, because we already had the fire rod. And I didn't have the boots, so I didn't have the library sword. And I didn't know there was a sword in Skull Woods.
For what it's worth, I didn't know there was a sword in Skullwoods either until Mothula was already dead.
That's fair. I mean, Hammermoth went well, at least.
Yeah, that was interesting to see you guys both go ahead and do Hammermoth. That's not an easy fight to do, and you both did it pretty well, so definitely kudos to both of you.
Yeah, my calc really was, it's like I have a blue potion, I can just drink it and fire rod him to death, but I might as well burn all my health on Hammer, and Mothula died before I reached that point, so that was all good.
Yeah, that was about my thought, too.
Yeah, it was just this seed with the items. I think Vatasia and I were trying to commentate this, and every time we turn away and watch you guys open up a chest, it'd be an actual progression item instead of just being like a big 20 like it usually is. It was insane. Just I don't think we've ever seen such a generous early game seed in quite a while.
Yeah, it opened up a lot, and as the race went on, and I couldn't find the mitts, there was a point where I was like, oh, I might still have this. Maybe he went to Thieves Town, did the weird play of doing Pendant Thieves, found the mitts and the flute, and that like just sent him on entirely the wrong path, and he never got the mirror. Because that was like a possibility, and my hope was that the seed was too open and it worked against him. Clearly that didn't pan out in the end.
Yeah, my thought when I was in that area, because my first time in the CAC area, I was like, Myers a pendant, so I don't necessarily have to come back. I'm only a couple items from go mode. Let's just do the first 4 thieves under the philosophy I'm probably never entering the CAC region again. And like with how much the seed gives, actually clearing pendant thieves wasn't even the beginning of a thought. I had multiple crystal dungeons open at almost all times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that Thieves Town dive really only produced a lamp, which logically would have been an item that you guys would have been sent off to find. But obviously, you're both fairly well acquainted with the dark rooms. So,
I mean, I want to say that I can do dark rooms and it doesn't cause me problems. I think I really have to rethink that stance at this point.
I mean, this sort of thing has happened to, I think, everyone at least once. Like, I remember losing a race just horribly badly because I got the mushroom in a dark room. It was hidden behind the powder, and I never thought to check.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But, I'm not going to blame it on that one thing. I had mistakes all over the place. I died in the dark room on my first bolus trip to pod, so I didn't get my mitts then. I turned in the mushroom without trying to fake powder it at first, which could have hurt me. There were just kind of a bunch of little things I did suboptimally that I think contributed to me not playing this to my full potential. So AA, please don't take this as representative of my play, or rather please do and assume you'll cream me on Wednesday so that I can have an edge that way.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how that works.
Yeah, speaking of the follow-up race 2, scheduled for 8:30 p.m. Wednesday, June 13th. Don't quite know what the restream schedule is going to be for that, but I hope it's as wild as this one is, only flipped, because I'd love to see a game 3 between you two.
I think we all would like to see. I think we'd all like to see as many games as we can get from all of our runners, but at the same time, I think our runners are kind of like one way or another. Like, I don't want to have to go through and play 3 games in a single week. That's especially if any are back to back.
I mean, I have a feeling if you pulled the racers in this race, you would get a 50-50 split between feelings on game 3 right now.
That is indeed a good point.
All right, well, both AmazingAmpharos, fylion, either of you guys have any final thoughts on this seed before we get things wrapped up here for the night?
Nope.
I mean, fylion doesn't want you to judge him on what happened to him in this seed. I'm all for that. Don't judge his randomizer by this seed. This is not representative at all.
No.
What a god seed.
Yeah, it was one of those seeds that it was like if you did everything right, it meant so fast. But if you did just a couple things wrong, man, it really pulled you in some different directions, as fylion found out. But GG to both of these runners, AmazingAmpharos and fylion. If you like what you saw from these guys, please give them a follow over here on Twitch. Keep in mind, we still have lots more Randomizer going on. I think we're getting close to the end of Randomizer for the evening. There is still a match going on over on Speed Gaming 5 between Zelda and DKs89. So if you still have time tonight, go over there. That is a total of 23 races that we've been able to broadcast today alone. Woo!
Yeah,
What a day.
Hippo and Hyphenated are also still playing right now. They're in the middle of their game over on ALTTP Randomizer, if you would like to catch what's going on with that. So, got a couple games still going here.
Yeah, I guess they started at the same time we did, and it is unreasonable to expect us that they're not done as quickly as we are.
Yes, not every seed is as fast as this one, as we just said. So they're still going. Got 2 games to choose from here, and then we just had Zelda and DK with their game. They're a little bit later of a start, so they're probably a little earlier in their race. If you want to watch something that's not super late at this point.
Absolutely. And for more randomizer action, we're still in the middle of this best of 3 round of 128 brackets. There's going to be a lot of broadcasting and a lot of seeds going on right now through this week. If you want to follow more randomizer action, be sure to follow Speed Gaming 1 through 6 and ALTTP Randomizer 1 through 4 to get all of your randomizer action. It's going to be an amazing first week as we whittle down. There's not a bad matchup. I swear, there is not a single bad matchup. Everyone who is in this tournament absolutely deserves to be here, and it's so much hype that you just turn on Twitch and go. Just watch it all day.
Well, make sure to get some sleep, though. It's important to eat and get sleep as well. As much as we love having you here watching Rando, you need to make sure to take care of yourself. So watch Rando, but don't forget to eat, don't forget to sleep, and don't get fired. These are important things.
I mean, you can eat while watching. You could sleep and listen to my dulcet sounds of my voice if you really, really need to.
Is your ASMR side job?
Either way, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for those of us here. Big shout out once again also to our tracker Oddwalls. Thank you so much. You've been doing so much work for us. But we're going to wrap it up here. My name's Vitasia.
I'm Neon Tiger.
And we'll see you guys at the next match. Catch you later.
See ya. Bye.